students, welcome in my YouTube channel. Myself Gangani sir. Today I will discuss synthesis, chemical property and physical property of isocyanate compound. So let's start. Now we have a different type of halide compound or particularly chloride compound. So now this will be a chloride compound or maybe benzene ring containing, but suppose we have taken this chloroalkane. Now this chloroalkane, when allowed to react with the silver cyanide, then Ag will react with this and it will remove in the form of silver chloride. Now next thing, whatever obtained to us, it is nothing but isocyanate compound. So this is a specific reaction. When alkyl halide is allowed to react with the silver cyanide, it gives us isocyanate compound. Now second thing, we are knowing very well, cyanide compound is possible to prepare from primary amine. It may be any type of aliphatic or aromatic. Now this amine, when allowed to react with the chloroform and 3 mole of potassium hydroxide, and when we heat this thing, then carbyl amine test, and as a result of carbyl amine test, foul smell containing isocyanate will be obtained. With this we are getting 2 common byproduct, 3 moles of potassium chloride and 2 moles of water. So it is observed that by using this method, isocyanate compound is possible to prepare. Suppose I would like to give example. We have chloromethane. Now this chloromethane is allowed to react with the silver cyanide. Now chloromethane on reaction with the silver cyanide, silver reacting with this chloride, we are getting silver chloride, and so by reaction in between these two, we will get a isocyanate, methyl isocyanate. This is known as a, in short, MIC. MIC means methyl isocyanate. So highly toxic compound will be obtained when chloromethane is allowed to react with the silver cyanide. Now whatever isocyanate compound obtained to us, it has a common physical property. So now it is observed that whatever isocyanate compound obtained to us, these are the dipolar in nature. When we take this, then it is observed that nitrogen having a partial positive charge and carbon having a partial negative charge. So this compound are dipolar in nature and they are very less soluble in water. So we can say they are sparingly soluble in water. So sparingly soluble, the meaning of sparingly soluble, they are soluble in very much less quantity. It is observed that isocyanate compound are highly toxic in nature. They are too much poisonous or they are highly toxic in nature. So it is observed that this type of isocyanate compound can be used for the preparation of different type of pesticide. Now they are dipolar in nature, so it is observed that boiling point and melting point of isocyanate is comparatively less as compared to corresponding cyanide. So we can write these things that due to dipolar in nature, boiling point of isocyanate is less. Boiling point of isocyanate is less than corresponding cyanide compound. The meaning of corresponding cyanide compound, they are having the same number of carbon atom. So suppose 2 carbon containing acetonitrile and 2 carbon containing methyl isocyanate, when compared, then methyl isocyanate melting point and boiling point are comparatively less. Now chemical property of cyanide compound, it is observed that whatever different type of isocyanate compound, their reduction is possible to do very easily. Now when this compound reduction done by using lithium aluminium hydride, 2 mole of hydrogen gas will be used in a reduction, and during this reduction process 1 hydrogen will be added on nitrogen and 3 hydrogen will be added on carbon. So reduction of cyanide compound give us secondary amine. We can write this thing, reduction of isocyanate compound when we have it done by using lithium aluminium hydride, we are getting a secondary amine. So suppose we have this structure, this is known as a phenyl isocyanate. Now this phenyl isocyanate, reduction done by us by using lithium aluminium hydride, same reducing agent, no any change. Then phenyl isocyanate will convert in this structure, and name of this structure you are knowing very well. This is known as a N-methyl aniline. So it is observed that N-methyl aniline will be obtained. This N-methyl aniline is a secondary amine. Now similarly, suppose we have this isocyanate compound, methyl isocyanate. Now whatever methyl isocyanate we have, it reduction done by using lithium aluminium hydride as a reducing agent. When reduction done by using lithium aluminium hydride, 3 hydrogen will be added on carbon and 1 hydrogen will be added on nitrogen. So reduction of this structure will also give us amine, and name of this structure is nothing but dimethyl amine. So this dimethyl amine will be obtained to us. So in this lecture we have discussed that isocyanate compound can be prepared by using 2 different methods. Particularly this reaction will ask you in a competitive exam that chloromethanol reaction with silver cyanide, what will be obtained? We are getting always isocyanate compound. Isocyanate on reduction give us always secondary amine. And the most important thing, physical property of isocyanate, these are the dipolar in nature, they are sparingly soluble in water, these isocyanate compound are highly toxic in nature, and this gas is also related with the Fobal gas treachery. And this compound can be used, isocyanate compound can be used for the production of different type of pesticide. Isocyanate is dipolar in nature, therefore their boiling point is less as compared to corresponding cyanate compound. So my dear students, if you like this lecture, then don't forget to subscribe it, to inform your friend, and take advantage of this free education lecture. All the best. See you in next lecture. Now myself is Gangani sir. I will discuss with you today carbyl amine test. Now what is the importance of carbyl amine test? Then it is observed that this carbyl amine test is used to identify primary amine in a laboratory. So purpose of carbyl amine test. Carbyl amine test, we can say that by using a carbyl amine test, we can identify, it is used to identify primary amine in lab. It means secondary and tertiary amine does not give carbyl amine test. So we can write this thing, secondary and tertiary amine does not give carbyl amine test. Now in carbyl amine test, we have taken this primary amine. This primary amine is allowed to react with a alkaline solution of chloroform. Now chloroform solution we have prepared in a potassium hydroxide. So when we hit this thing, then foul smell containing poisonous and highly toxic isocyanate compound will produce, or we can say isocyanide gas will produce. And with this we are getting common byproduct, 3 molecule of potassium chloride and 2 molecule of water. Whatever isocyanate will produce, it will be in the form of gas. So it is observed that primary amine give this carbyl amine test, while secondary and tertiary amine does not give. So question will arise, how this primary amine will convert in secondary amine. So it is an exact step of mechanism. To understand this thing, you have to must understand mechanism. Now, suppose we have taken a chloroform. Then in a chloroform, this chlorine are attached with a carbon. Now electronegativity of chlorine is more. Therefore, this bond electron is attracted towards chlorine. Therefore, hydrogen having a partially positive charge and chlorine having a partially negative charge. So this hydrogen having a little acidic property. Now we have taken a alkaline medium. In this we have hydroxyl ion. This hydroxyl ion will approach to this H plus and it will remove in the form of water molecule. And as a result, we will get this type of structure. Now here, this bond electron will transfer on carbon. So carbon having a negative charge and it has a chlorine atom. So now this step is comparatively very fast step. This step is comparatively fast step. Now, whatever chlorine obtained, it has a tendency to attract this bond electron. So now, in a second step, dichlorocarbene formation occur. Whenever we have a chloroform with a alkali, then dichlorocarbene will form. So it is observed that here out of these three, any one chlorine will remove with the electron and as a result we will get a carbon. Now this carbon having a two non-bonding electron pair. It has a two non-bonding electron. We can say that this carbon having a two electron and it has a no any charge. This bond will go with, this chlorine will go with the electron. So it will remove in the form of chloride ion. So it will get a negative charge and carbon having a positive. So positive negative charge will be neutral. Now it has a two electron. So now this step is comparatively slow step and rate determining step. Now this whatever dichlorocarbene form, this dichlorocarbene will approach to amine. We know that this amine molecule, nitrogen having a non-bonding electron pair. Now carbon of dichlorocarbene having a two electron pair and it has a two bond comparatively less. So this nitrogen donate electron pair to carbon and as a result carbon nitrogen sigma bond formation will occur. So we can write a new structure in this way. This nitrogen having a two hydrogen, it has a donated electron pair to carbon, so it has a positive charge. Now nitrogen and carbon having a sigma bond. This carbon having a two electron and it is carbon having a two electron and chlorine atom. Now one by one, it is observed that this hydrogen will remove with the electron, this hydrogen will remove, this chlorine will remove with the electron. So it will remove in the form of HCl. It remove in the form of HCl. Chloride ion will remove with the electron pair and as a result double bond will form between a carbon and nitrogen. So the second bond will be pi bond and same step repeated again once again. So this chlorine will go with the electron, this hydrogen will remove HCl. Our solution is alkaline solution. In alkaline solution potassium hydroxide will react with it. It remove in the form of KCl and two water molecule. So this on reaction with alkali, it will convert it into potassium chloride and water molecule and we get this type of structure in which nitrogen having a triple bond with carbon. Now nitrogen having a positive charge and carbon with a one valency less an electron pair it has, therefore it has a negative charge. So whatever compound obtained, it is known as a isocyanide. Now in a case of secondary amine, nitrogen having only one hydrogen, therefore it will form only one hydrogen bond, one sigma and one pi bond. So second pi bond will not form by secondary amine or tertiary amine cannot form second pi bond also. Sorry, once again. In a case of secondary amine, nitrogen having just only one hydrogen, therefore secondary amine cannot form second pi bond and therefore secondary amine doesn't give carbyl amine test. Similarly, tertiary amine, nitrogen having no hydrogen atom, therefore it is not able to form pi bond. So it is observed that carbyl amine test will be given by only primary amine. Secondary and tertiary amine does not give carbyl amine test. Now, some example of carbyl amine test we can study that. Suppose we have taken this compound methyl amine, or we can say it is iupacine methanamine. Now this methenamine on carbylamine test on reaction with a chloroform in alkaline solution. When we hit this with a chloroform in alkaline solution, it gives us poisonous and toxic compound. This is known as methyl isocyanate. In short, we can write MIC. And two byproduct will be common: 3 molecule of KCl and 2 molecule of water. Similarly, if we have a aniline, then aniline is also giving us carbylamine test. If aniline is heated with the chloroform and potassium hydroxide, so when we hit this with the chloroform and 3 moles of potassium hydroxide, same way reaction occur. This NH2 group will convert it into isocyanate. Whatever compound obtained, it is known as a phenyl isocyanate. Now this phenyl isocyanate, whatever obtained to us, whatever phenyl isocyanate obtained to us, it is toxic in nature, and 2 common byproduct will be obtained. This will be a 3 KCl and 2 water molecule. So this carbylamine test will be given by primary amine. So now, my dear students, you have to identify. In various competitive exam, you are given various structure of amine. You have to identify which amine will give carbylamine test and which will not give. So try to detect out of this which amine will not give a carbylamine test. Just you have to identify. Now out of this, which amine will give carbylamine test and which will not give, this you have to detect or you have to inform. Now students, there are 6 different examples are given to you. You have to identify which amine will give carbylamine test. To identify, you should know that if primary amine means it is a formula RNH2, means NH2 is there, then it is a primary amine and primary amine will give carbylamine test. While if it is a secondary amine, nitrogen having 1 hydrogen or no hydrogen, then it doesn't give carbylamine test. So now you can identify this amine is which type of amine? Secondary amine. So it is a secondary amine, so it will not give carbylamine test. Now identify, this is a primary aliphatic amine, so it will give a carbylamine test. Once again, this structure is for secondary amine and it is secondary amine, therefore it will not give carbylamine test. Now you observe this structure is not for amine, it is structure for a amide. It is structure for amide, so carbylamine test will be not given because carbylamine test is used for primary amine only, not for amide. Similarly, this is the structure of secondary amine, so it will not give carbylamine test. Now this is structure of 2-methyl aniline and it is primary amine, so this will give a carbylamine test. So now structure number 2 and 6 will give carbylamine test, while remaining all structure will not give carbylamine test. Now students, please share and subscribe my channel and inform to other students also.